Silas off the table as well, so he's undefeated, will remain so, at least through game 4 of the day.
All right, not willing to first pick it, definitely. The Urgot, Aatrox, Akali, all things still floating around here. So we'll see how they want to whittle him down. CLG kind of notorious for leaving up a lot of power picks in exchange and trying to get them back because they feel like they can play around them or have worked on strategies specifically tailored to expectations that you know the enemy team is going to first pick. And it looks like we will at least have the Aatrox Urgot possibilities. Akali still a possibility. I know Phoenix and Solo both have put in decent work on that champion, so they'd definitely be willing to pick it.
Of course, Darshan's been very good on Sion across his 3 games so far on the LCS. He's won a bunch of Sion games here. Now Aatrox grabbed right away. And he can try to bully out Darshan in that top lane, who I feel like for the last roughly year has felt a little bit weaker than his normal form. He's been very good in the past. He's got a couple of championships under his belt, but hasn't looked as good recently, but we'll see.
One of those was one with some Nasus split push back in the day
I remember
for
that.
Darshan. And
Back on Dignitas, I think.
Nasus did get a recent buff, if you remember Freak in the patch. You know, stacks you can get, what, 12 now?
For a cannon?
For a cannon or the kill.
Sure, yep. With Lucian gone, of course, Ezreal's an easy pickup here, so CLG looking pretty good on the early draft. The Urgot trade for Aatrox is not much of a surprise, of course. We've seen that matchup plenty of times across pro play.
Yeah, I mean, basically for the marksman, it has come down to the top 3 AD carries. Lucian is banned usually. Ezreal and Kai'Sa are the next 2. So there you go.
Yep.
Don't even get to keep talking because there's the other one. They want to get it before the second round of bans come through because that's going to push you to the lower tier.
Yeah.
And with Rakan getting weakened, I feel like the other answer had been teams that had good Xayah Rakan players, but you know, Rakan got slowed down a little bit for the long range and the quickness synergy broken with W, so it seems to be very you know, unreliable, I'd say now.
So CLG playing much more for kiting back here. The 3rd Tahm Kench game of the split for Biofrost here, and Tahm Kench really not that common of a support anymore. He's certainly around. There's teams that want to play him. CLG, one of the few standing that still want to do this here, so very heavy backline. We did just see Ezreal, I would say, sort of hard carry a game in Sneaky's hands. Stixxay can hope to do the same.
And I kind of like the back and forth here in this Champs League. Echo Fox get the pick here on Nocturne, provides a lot of, you know, cross-map potential. Split pushing becomes greatly empowered when you have Nocturne and Kai'Sa with these long-range ultimate abilities where you can join a lane. But then CLG fires back. They pick themselves up the Ezreal and the Tahm Kench. Abyssal Voyage has been used so well by teams early on in the game to gain momentum on, you know, rotating a bottom lane up top or something to get some turret plates and trying to use that throughout the game. So both teams now with some decent tools to try and make those, you know, cross-map or at least very long-range movements to, you know, overload turret plates. I think the first 14 minutes in the game have determined so much right now.
Yeah, they've definitely done a lot here. Comebacks, of course, still possible, as Cloud9 showed us against TSM a little bit ago, but you can see what kind of champions these teams are worried about. C9 getting rid of more of the engage option, saying if you want to play support Ornn or flex the Aatrox around and put the Ornn top lane and bring in Lissandra, those are not allowed for you. And if you need an aggressive jungler on CLG's side, well, Camille, not an option anymore as well. So targeting sort of pieces of a comp that might be missing or might be reinforced with this shown already. More Nasus hovers, we'll wait to see what that actually is. Maybe really Nasus. But I
mean, it's Power of Evil in the mid lane, and AP Nasus could be a possibility. He's done a lot of interesting champion picks and a lot of interesting champion builds. He's definitely a guy that I'm always excited to see because most of the games of the teams that he's on will revolve around mid lane.
All right, well, Sejuani's going to come through, so there's the engage tools, even if Camille is banned out, and Ornn and Lissandra are gone as well. Sejuani's still around. Interestingly, not seen a lot in North America, but actually really popular worldwide otherwise, so it's one champion we haven't put a lot of games onto, but Wiggly's going to bring Sedge out.
Yeah, without a lot of other melee champions yet, so we'll see if he's going to have to stack up most of his own stuns. Quick lock-ins from Echo Fox as Phoenix fires off the kind of universal pick here with Orianna whenever you're not quite sure what you're going against.
Keep in mind that Urgot can still flex from top or mid lane. That seems the likely roles for it now, as we kind of know where Ezreal, Tahm Kench, Sejuani are going. So what's the last pick? Where's Urgot going? And what's filling into that last lane as they know it's going to be Aatrox top and Orianna mid for sure. And they will put Power of Evil on his Syndra in that mid lane up against Ori, and it will be Darshan fighting solo on the Urgot.
Ooh, this is a classic one. Syndra versus Orianna can definitely have kill pressure. I would put more jungle attention mid now, seeing this. Even though you're not going to have, extra help stacking up those stuns, Syndra can line it up herself, and a lot of burst damage potential at the level 6 mark.
Okay, so as time ticks down, we're not going to see any more swaps down here. I do like Echofox's comp. It looks like a pretty well-rounded team fight group. You can put the Orianna ball onto Nocturne. Shockwave delivery is pretty strong right there. Hakuo has been great on Thresh. I think key to some of the wins they've picked up. One of those two was him on that champion, getting a lot of really good hooks and getting follow-up kills even after a Tahm Kench or a Zillion would revive someone. CLG, I think, putting a lot of their damage basket, though, on towards Stixxay. Syndra can try to front-load someone, but the front line's pretty durable on Echofox, so yeah, I think Stixxay's got a lot.
One thing I would say is I do like Syndra for killing Nocturne as they're coming in. Syndra can deal with them pretty quickly. The Shockwave will still probably get off if they're comboing correctly, though, so I feel like that does add an extra layer.
Let's see what the fights look like as Echofox getting ready to go. Both these teams sitting at 2-2. As we mentioned in the previous game, a win here puts you in a tie for second. With that FlagQuest loss earlier, there's some room underneath Team Liquid, but there's a lot of space for these teams to get up there and start making their way forward. CLG on 2 straight wins can certainly move forward here, and I think a team that their fans can be excited for. We'll see what they can get for themselves as we get ourselves onto the Rift for this one. It's going to be exciting battle between Echofox and Counter Logic Gaming.
All right, Rush going the lethal tempo Nocturne. Looking for some early snowballing. We'll see how he gets to level 6 quickly or not. Spread out. Looks like pretty defensive. Normal start here for all the teams. Just going to watch the entrances. We'll see the Scuttle Crab wards go down. Usually around 1 minute 20 to keep track of those. Sejuani probably going to have to defer. Wait to see she's the Nocturne and trade.
30 seconds until minions spawn.
And looking as the wards may or may not go down. You usually need a second player to kill a trinket ward before it turns invisible, so sometimes you can double up in a brush or something and get lucky.
Yeah, positioning on those brushes important. Biofrost and Stixxay, you can see, already got it. Stixxay does have the Klepto, so usually the Ezreal likes to go for these early trades of damage, but he did not see Apollo and did not land his Q, so nothing gained off of that Klepto. Ward goes down even deeper here for Rush, actually, though, and those are some slow attack speed champions. Not able to get the last one down. Sejuani and Urgot will know that the vision is here at the very least.
That's okay. Ultimately, no harm, no foul.
Ooh, Solo's actually looking for it here. Puts down the Poro and the ward that will see the Krugs to see where Wiggly goes next. For sure, they're going to have information here on Wiggly, no matter what camp he goes to next. Unless he goes straight for Scuttle, which would be insane.
A little bit. There's the stun, there's the kill, pretty quick start.
All right.
And yeah, those Krugs are going to be spotted. So it will be a known jungle path, and I expect to see a ping up there, or just simply Solo saying, there's the ping. Saying, yep, that's where the champion is. CLG can only guess that's where Nocturne's going, but it is a very common path at this point to go right into Krugs.
Yeah, and they do have the also bottom ward here. You can see, since they're pretty sure Nocturne starting off on red side, and red into Krugs up through the river for the bottom scuttle is pretty common. You can go over to the rafters after Krugs as well. Now, this signals to me that he wants to get his camps to respawn as quickly as possible and rush to level 6. Because rushing level 6, usually just want to do all of your own neutrals to get the second spawns up. Because you have to do a full second wave of them to get it, and not necessarily using the time even to go into the river for scuttles.
You can see the mid laners trading back and forth pretty furiously here. Rush does not go by any vision, though again, by him not looping around the bottom side, they can kind of surmise he probably did Raptors third. Either way, Scuttle will be no problem for him, and now will be spotted, but it's too late to do anything about that one as they trade some camps. And Sejuani had only partially cleared Krugs, it looked like, has come over.
Here's the biggest thing, too. Rush just saw Sejuani. You can count 11 CS here, and you can say he has cleared his red side, probably not dipped into the top side scuttle, and he should be able to get both scuttles now at his leisure. Since he knows Sejuani has cleared the full top side, there's no reason for her to go back that way, and should be able to get a very early level 6 Nocturne, honestly.
All right, well, Darshan pushing into the top side, still going to get some of the CS. This will be a little bit awkward. The dash gets him the reset and just enough damage. This one is going to be dropped. We'll see how much they can do.
Urgot also. So Darshan here, this is what I like to see from the top laners. Darshan, since he got the early shove there with Urgot, he moves down, he blows the blast plant so they, or the Scryer's bloom so that they get the vision onto Rush. They see how much work he's doing. He doesn't have time to take the scuttle, so he's not gonna be able to deny it from Rush, but they are keeping tabs on him for sure.
All right, well, double scuttle still feels pretty good for the Nocturne here, and you mentioned trying to rush towards 6. He's power clearing camp, still getting all the crabs, and that'll feel pretty solid. Now getting the late blue buff pickup at 4 minutes. That'll delay when Phoenix can grab it, but that's probably okay.
Yeah. They also have the timer on Krugs. Remember, it's 2 minutes and 30 seconds for a respawn of a small camp. They had vision of it there for Echo Fox, so Rush knows, and he just yellow pinged on the Krugs that Sejuani is going to be here. Now he's yellow pinging this Tribush ward. If you do that to your top laner in solo queue and they still get ganked and they die, that's a tilter.
Yeah, that's no longer on you at this point. So Solo
should know that he's here. They yellow ping.
And he walks right up to Wiggly, getting slowed down, flashing, and there's not going to be any range to get more auto, so flash for nothing, flash for the face check. But again, if you ward, he's not there. If you ward and he's there, you lose flash.
Yeah, I mean, it definitely is a bit of a tilter. Not warding it a little bit earlier, so you don't have to lose your flash. We'll see if they're even punished for it, though.
Yeah.
Aatrox doesn't have it. His ult will be up soon, though, to contest with the Urgot ultimate.
So this typical Sheen recall for stick safe for the Ezreal. That's, I think, usually what you want unless something bad happens and you're forced back early. You can now fight for a bit of lane pressure as the recall's going to come back for Apollo as well.
Yeah, first plate, too. Able to get some early money here for Apollo and Hakuo.
I do want to point out interesting recall timing here because Apollo is recalling in the face of a non-cannon wave, and so it's actually fairly quick for 6 AM Balfrost to shove this down. They can deny some farm from the Kai'Sa. If he didn't have TP, of course, he doesn't matter anymore. Yeah. But if you don't bring TP, there could have been some farm loss. It doesn't matter when you bring the teleport.
Yeah, TP becoming so common in bottom lane for pro play just for that wave management reason. Let's see here, top side, remember, this is the area where they burn the flash, so that's usually what you want to target. But again, level 6s coming in means Syndra burst potential. And this is not a barrier or Orianna. This is the cleanse to try and get out of one of the stuns. But definitely going to have to be very careful about the pure damage that can come out because multiple stuns will be layered. Syndra stun, Sejuani ultimate, as well as stacking up passive can be done. Now you have to do your passive before the ultimate one.
Yep.
If you want to use both of those.
Yeah, the ult will preclude you from using it again. So we'll wait to see as the first ganks have yet to really happen. Top lane was just a flash force, and that was it. He kind of knew it was sort of coming, and that was safe enough. Rush getting the third scuttle.
Oh, baby, this guy is juiced. Rush is feeling good. Farm boy at his best. He played the Karthus, now he's on the Nocturne, fully farmed up, ready to ult.
And Kobe, I got a Reddit thread about it last time, so I'll bring it back up. He's a minute faster than the average to level 6 here per pro play globally, so Rush feeling pretty good about this one, and a sub 7-minute ultimate. Look for the play. Nice hook on the bottom lane this time, Tom Kench. Ooh, actually, what a bad time to use thick skin. Won't get any health back from that.
Yeah, a lot of pressure being exerted by the bottom lane here. Apollo and Hakuo getting their turret plate first, continually pushing in, allowing them to get vision of the river. Once again, kind of what I talked about last game, the highway of Summoner's Rift is the river. This allows you for transition plays early on in the game between all of the lanes. That's where you see a lot of the early game advantages gained. You know, not only is it Dragon, but it's also roams of supports, roams of the jungler. You know, getting off those very early flash advantages can definitely mean the difference.
Well, let's see if they can find their exit on a solo on the top side. He's most of the way back on that flash, though. Only 2 minutes left to punish this one. Otherwise, he's going to get away scot-free, and that ward doesn't really mean much of anything. BOE defensive control ward top side is going to help track some of those movements.
Yeah, he knows. He's a prime target for Nocturne. So even though he has a lot of level 6 offensive potential, Syndra is a very, very easy target for something like the Paranoia, especially when comboed with the Shockwave.
A little bit of a fight there, but Darshan's able to shield it up. Echo Fox quickly leashing the Cloud, and there it goes over to the junglers, who are feeling pretty solid. 500 gold lead for Chronologic Gaming. They are farming pretty well. It's actually Darshan up in farm, Urgot versus Aatrox, and Klepto Ezreal a little bit of that as well. Otherwise, though, pretty close one.
little bit of an invade there to get a deep ward. Should be cleared out, though, by CLG as they pass off the blue buff to Power of Evil. We got double, actually, rings there for Phoenix as well. Investing a little bit heavier into the early game with Orianna, trying to get some extra power. Let's see about the recall.
One thing I find interesting, actually, if we compare gold on individual people, the gold between Tahm Kench and Thresh is actually quite far apart. It's like 500, but the gold from the gold generation items is like 50 apart. So it looks to me like Biofrost, I think, acquired farm that Ezreal dropped, because I can't think of another way that you would have earned this much extra money.
Yeah, that seems to be the case. I mean, during the recalls, even if you have teleport, they've been pushed in the whole time. So I would think that probably minions were under fire by the turret while Ezreal's in base, and Tahm Kench getting some gold there. That's
a little bit extra farming.
This is another little drawback of the pressure of playing up like that. Well, people usually are like, "Oh my God, you can get ganked," or they've been at my wave all game. Why aren't you ganking them? Well, you know, they've also got the extra advantage there with the minions pushing. Oh, Iru's not going to
ward, but only the ward.
Distracted
that was the
ward.
decoy.
Nice. Big play there from the ward.
We
protect him.
honor its sacrifice.
Meanwhile, blue buff being handed off on the other side as well. And everybody really content this game. Let's see, still only the single plate being taken down. I mean, it looks like everybody opting into the farm-heavy game here. You would think that, you know, with something like a Thresh bottom lane and a Nocturne, that would be an area, or the Orianna, as you mentioned in Champ Select, comboing very nicely with that ultimate. But it seems CLG are playing super defensively under their turrets in most of the lanes, except for the Urgot.
Yeah, and he's not been really punished for this aggression. He's not been getting ganked. Rush level 7 now has yet to press R.
Wait, he doesn't go for the plate money here. Phoenix, so he actually wanted to go invade more than he wanted to finish off that extra plate there. Maybe he feels like he'll get it later anyway, but he moves in with Rush for the team play for Vision.
But didn't his parents teach him at dinner, you always clear your plate. You gotta make sure you take care of the dishes, clear your plate, get in the dishwasher.
Yeah, it's not a bad thing if he, you know, does get it later, but if a plate dies while you're not around in your lane because you pushed it up when it was low, then you're gonna get...
Ooh, meanwhile, that's a flash force out of Phoenix. Good damage to the Power of Evil. Neil coming by for Wiggly. Trades that one out. It's gonna be wave clear now.
Ooh, yeah, Phoenix very low now as well. Maybe he doesn't get an opportunity for the play. Inside the Rift Herald pit, though, Rush finishes off.
Woo, and he got it.
He picked it up. Hey, that's key jungle play right there. Pick the eyeball up.
Oh, wow, and now mid lane play looking good as well. This is the first ult of the game. Looking in towards Power of Evil. Health bar a bit, low pops, heal runs away.
Wait.
Two-shot barrage won't land, but here comes Sejuani. Not gonna find much of a slow. Good spell shield by Rush.
Maybe we'll have to take a look at the replay and the ranges there, but no combination with a shockwave placement. I mean, it was double summoners used by Power of Evil, so
yeah,
I think he just got out of range, and Phoenix was like, okay, not going to be able to get it here. So with double summoners down, Hakuho
gonna find a play. Wiggly's got to flash over the box wall, and you got more teammates coming around though as Stixxay and Biofrost show up. I think Wiggly, well, he's going to be okay without the flash. Now the shotgun's going to land. Trade of blows. Not going to find the stun as PoE though, so Phoenix on the chase could have some good damage. Dodging sideways with Power of Evil. The flash Q. Good cleanse the lantern. What a freaking ward! Biofrost with first blood.
Oh my God. Bio Daddy lays the ward down right on the lantern, and Phoenix can't handle it. Oh man. In that situation, I always spam zoom with my mouse wheel to try and click it better. But even when that happens, you know, sometimes you fumble it, right? Regardless though, Phoenix went for that outplay. If it was a 1v1 scenario, that would have been fine. But they knew it was not a 1v1 scenario. They knew that the bottom lane had just invaded. So here's another look at the initial one. Yeah, so there wasn't an opportunity for Phoenix to initially pass off the ball in time to get a good shockwave there. But they're very well aware the three members of CLG are clearing out this control ward while he's doing this. So he knows he only has 2 more seconds, yet Phoenix still goes for the extra auto there. I think it was probably because Haku was like, hey, I got a lantern for you. And then he literally was just outplayed by Biofrost with that ward placement. Super nice placement as well, by the way. Super quick, right on the lantern. And you can see the moment when Phoenix clicks on it and is unable to get it.
Deals 1 damage to awards. There's the charge in. Lots of plates cleared off that bottom turret. That's some decent money coming through. That'll feel good. And there's only an gold difference now. Is Echofox catching up a little bit here. Even Solo is caught up in farm in the top side as well, so he's going to feel nice about this one. 1 plate, doesn't want to go for the auto attack. It's going to fall in 12 seconds and won't quite cash in. I think that might have been worth it, but he'd take damage in the backside.
All right. What are they going to do with this first blood cash in on Tom Kent? Double
Round
summoners,
2,
remember?
No summoners. Stopwatch buys time. Shockwave pulls him back in. Good trades around. A 1-for-1 as the jungler comes around. Wiggly finds the damage and a double kill for the CLG jungler.
The Sejuani coming in and taking names here. Wiggly is able to cash in, and we've got a fed jungler and a fed Tom Kent.
And
The two coming down.
are surrounded. There's a Lantern. Hakuo flashes, pulls in his teammate, puts down the box, and that's a pretty clean escape.
I mean, that's the only escape that you can have in that situation is
Yeah.
Hakuo flashing first, pulling back Apollo, getting them both out of that situation. So definitely nice moves by him. It's another summoner blown, though, in exchange for the Abyssal Voyage cooldown. Rush, though, he knows. Burned double summoners last time. Let's get this Syndra. Oh, stopwatch is there, so that's going to buy some time. Wiggly comes in. Power of Evil lands the stun. Wiggly is able to get the combination there also. Phoenix took, I believe during that replay, 1 turret shot initially while they were trying to damage Syndra, and then another at the end. So a decent amount of turret damage as well helps Wiggly pick up both kills and earn himself a bounty on his head.
Okay, so the lanes have been moved around now. We'll wait to see if Sejuani can ever die in this game. It's certainly a strong tank support. Darshan, yeah, clearing the way forward so that 500 gold for the outer turret can't be picked up here. CLG still with the gold lead off those kills. That was a pretty nice trade, 2 for 1 of the mid lane. And they're feeling pretty solid in this one. Overall scaling, I think, is still pretty close across the board. I like Sejuani over Nocturne super late game, unless you have great split push, which maybe Solo will have.
Yeah,
But-
and it is going to be an interesting battle, I think, in the split push wars here as we get a little bit later. With the Ezreal, Tom Kench having the ability to clear waves / move very quickly to one of those pressure points. We'll see how well the ultimates go next time around for Rush. His stopwatch is available, as is Phoenix. You always have to keep on checking inventories, by the way, to make sure your target does not have a stopwatch. Hakuo's got one himself. Nice interrupt on the recall as well.
Right.
Got a golf clap from Freak here, by the way, at the desk.
It's some good shots, and honestly, that actually helped CLG a fair bit because they know the dual lane is still stuck. They know top can push. They know the invade can happen for blue, and
Yeah.
CLG getting a lot in the mid game.
It's something we always refer to as tempo. You know, the couple of seconds moving on the map in the early game is so important because every wave you're pushing with, especially now that we have turret plates, can mean money. Time is really is money in Summoner's Rift here, and if you stop recalls there, that's another 15 seconds or whatever of time. They get down the top turret here for Counter Logic Gaming to even up that score.
You want to hear a really bad joke?
Always, Freak. All of your jokes are really bad. So just say,
right.
do you want to hear a joke?
Okay. You know why CLG got tempo there?
Why?
They stopped their Bach.
Ah!
Okay.
I kind of like it because I kind of like listening to classical, but that's about it. You'll get a kinda.
All right, I appreciate the kinda. Thank you very much. Wiggly sitting the brush, though. Doesn't always on a ward. Of course, it's 2 invisible wards on both sides, so Hakuo looking at maybe the play. They find the stun anyway, and another stun here as well, but Nocturne says, stop that, get away from my team. And defensive rush.
You can see everybody shifting down towards the mid lane as soon as that happened. And nobody wants to go all in because Nocturne ult threat is there. The Abyssal Voyage from Tom Kench threat is there. And if you overextend, then we've seen already the counter initiation have big rewards for CLG.
And it's still them slowly eking out advantages in the mid game. 1 Ocean to a Cloud Drake, Mountain spawning in a few minutes. They're in at almost the exact same time. We'll see when that play might come forward. Darshan using a spellbook heal, trying to find a fight on a solo. Can't just get it as they keep just trading farm up there. 0-0-0 for both those players. It's all been about the other 4 players on the team.
Great top lane play there, matching all the CS.
Wow.
No deaths.
Same items, almost exactly.
Yeah. What have we come to, Freak?
Well, we've
One's
come
got-
to Aatrox versus Urgot.
One's got a double longsword, the other one's got biscuits and a drink.
Nice. Hey, and a pocket watch.
True enough. Meanwhile, we shifted over the carries here to the mid lane. This is super common, especially when you have something like a Kai'Sa. Very safe in the mid lane to clear here. You've got a Thresh protecting, Apollo just trying to rake it in. Meanwhile, on the side waves, we already mentioned the top laners. Aatrox getting the push there on bottom first. And we see CLG actually being the ones to make the swap here as Darshan goes top. And they have their more vulnerable Power Vivo pick up the pushed wave because Syndra, we've seen, you don't want to blow your summoners because you'll be a prime target.
Can absolutely be a target. I do want to point out, Echofox have a couple of decent wards you can see in that blue buff jungle, the top right corner of the screen. They've got a couple that can track some of the moves to keep Solo a bit safe. About 20 seconds ago, he went and stole Gromp. He can kind of do what Impact did earlier in the day and just kind of chain kill jungle camps next to the waves you're pushing and gain a golden XP lead that way. And with ward coverage staying up, you can keep making that kind of push. Of course, now Aatrox is fighting Syndra. That's going to be a little bit different here. But with Sejuani slinking around now pretty aggressively, it's not yet the tower dive, though. Aatrox is too durable. So we can see Echofox back to 4 mid. The Aatrox was spotted clearing on a turret. CLG have perfect information right now. CLG's pushed in top, and we'll wait to see when someone clears that one up.
All right, looks like they're also calling Darshan down. The Urgot has switched over to Exhaust. So that is perfect for a team fight. Does not have the option to teleport in. Solo's coming in, they get the hook.
Good spell shield for Rush because he's being stunned. On top of that, one attack onto Apollo puts him down about a third. And now this Drake is alive. Mountain definitely means quite a bit in the mid to late game. It's CLG starting up first. Blue Trinket used to spot them out. Solo on the other side waiting for his possible flank play, and CLG unwilling to take damage from 6 sources.
Dragon is going to leash back
Solo
down.
spotted. Darshan as well. That's a little bit of 1v1. The 4-on-4 on the other side, but no, Wiggly's going to come across to try to help this fight, but it's Echofox to the battle first, looking for the damage, looking for the fear as well. Can they knock down Darshan? He's going to stopwatch to buy some time, but Apollo is there. More stopwatch. Darshan flashing away. Can they save Wiggly? He's in the belly. No, jumping away. He's going to stay safe. Now looking back at Apollo, not quite front of the stun though. Solo still safe in the front line as well. Big damage to Wiggly. Forces the 20 away. The hook means nothing as Darshan grabs him to safety. But it's Echofox dealing far more damage and getting control of the map.
Yeah, and getting so many more cooldowns. Echofox didn't blow any stopwatches or any flashes there. And you can see the front line for CLG used all of theirs. Now the Dragon being started up. Teleport comes in though, they're going to contest.
They're going to certainly try, and the blast plants even up for him, so this could be another 5-on-5. This time, ult's missing on the Echofox side. A hook, but again turned around. Still wanting to go in as Aqua flays in forward. PoE staying alive. Rush picks up the Drake, and now Biofrost is low, pops the skin, but he's very injured. And 1 kill goes Echofox. 1 traded back though by Urgot. 4-on-4. Looking as Darshan tries to find a second, and he will do so. Picking up a couple from that top side of the map, and now Solo forced to run away.
We're 21 minutes in. I mean, Baron is available and an option for CLG. Biofrost is the only one who died for them, and he has Abyssal Void still active. If they take this turret, they could transition over to Baron. Maybe bait? Not even going to do it, it looks like.
Yeah, they have the Ocean to stay a little bit more healthy, but they're not going to go. They're just going to grab the Scuttle Crab, get the reset, and take their +1 kill as payment for a Drake being taken.
All right, so Darshan opts to go the long way around instead of taking the Blast Cone over into the Drake. Echofox then do get the Drake kill. However, in the back line, Darshan does come around, lands his ultimate, gets the first kill, then immediately onto Apollo, finishes him off with the Purge, and is able to find CLG the advantage.
Pretty solid stuff, and a bit of wave, a bit of vision control is CLG's payment. 450 gold otherwise, paid for a Mountain Drake. I think that's a fairly equal trade. So we'll see what that means later on, if it pays dividends for Echofox, or if CLG use that gold lead for a bit more. As Darshan now finishes Righteous Glory, plus buys up some magic resist. His 2 kills got him a Negatron Cloak. And if he survives Phoenix because of that, then his double kill matters a lot for the team fight. If it doesn't, then maybe the Mountain Drake matters. We'll see if those breakpoints turn into anything.
Oh,
Simple
not
wave
going to
clear.
matter too much against Aatrox.
No.
Stays down there in the split push.
And right now, Darshan can't even TP to a fight. He's got Ignite on that hotkey. Whereas Solo can join. He's going to split push with impunity. This time around, though, Solo does not have wards on his side of the map, so we'll have to respect Biofrost and Wiggly roaming down. For now, it's okay, but you see he's only relying on his own trinket for that safety. But no one's here to stop him.
You can see them trading side waves here, with Syndra showing top side, Ezreal Tomken showing on the wave in mid lane too. Just content to push it up. Meanwhile, I feel like they should be more aggressively fighting this vision around the Baron. especially since Echofox does have the Mountain Drake here. But both of the low mobility mid laners without teleport are on the top side, so both junglers are hovering, and this could be the one where they decide to go active.
Back and forth they go as the wave was pushed by PUE, then picked up by Phoenix Farm. Pretty close between those two mages. Both sitting in reasonably similar score lines here as the red buff's going to go over to 6A. Over the wall he goes, feeling pretty good, moving towards that Seraph's Embrace, going for that scaling build. He's going to be the small power trough for now, and go for a while. He's picked up that second tier later on.
So much armor on him. Here they go.
Oh, they found a stun, and the Ezreal getting grabbed up by Tom Kench, keep himself safe for now. Back in they go towards Archie, got Guardian Angel, the Wiggly. Days are numbered. They'll find one kill for Aatrox. Now looking for round 2. Hakpo very, very low, but cannot quite be assassinated even still, though. They get rushed to the Guardian Angel, and Darshan finds a slow towards Phoenix. He's got Flash, though, should have a way out, and he will indeed do so. Easy to walk away from that one. 4 versus 4 on the map. I have to believe, though, I think Rush lost a bit more with the Guardian Angel down.
Yeah, and he flashed there, then tried to walk back to the Lantern that was under Urgot, so is going to be a little bit more down for Echofox. Both junglers being the ones that died, though. Nothing else is going to fall after. Let's take another look at how it started, because Rush wants to go in here with the flank of Solo, but all of CLG are already around mid lane, so they easily collapse. When Rush goes in, he gets immediately stunned and killed off of it. They did burst down Wiggly pretty quickly, though, even on the Sejuani full tank aftershock proc. So it was a pretty close trade.
Yeah, this kind of chose to be the meat in the front line and allowed them to trade back both of Rush's lives. And now, ooh, that's Darshan finding a friend with a Tom Kench coming by as well. Solo's running fast as he can, doesn't go for the E just there. But he will find the blast, but nah, instead he wants the Lantern. The light of his life keeps him alive.
And again, this is why in Champion Select, we keep mentioning all of these tools that both teams pick for split pushing. The Thresh Lanterns to save people who overextend, the Tom Kench ultimate to try and collapse on people, Ezreal to clear waves on the side, and Nocturne here to try and pick them off. It seems like so far, CLG are using theirs slightly better, as the Nocturne one being punished most heavily.
Definitely true, as these stacks are still coming in, though, and these players are scaling. We're waiting to see what the big team fights look like later on, because the split pushes, you're right, I think they've been going CLG's way. They've not been, I think, really breaking the map open just yet, so I think we will still find ourselves in 5-on-5 in the next few minutes.
I mean, the next one is another mountain, and this just puts even more pressure on the 5v5. CLG look like they should have control, and Echofox might trade it for that top turret. Solo's already going for it, so Echofox just want to get a little bit of gold to try and fight their next team fight. And it's kind of the idea that if you can win the next team fight with gold, then they won't have an opportunity to use their Mountain Drake on objectives.
True. Well, of course, Solo has teleport and Darshan does not, so sort of forced to group with the team. There's that Mountain Drake traded back, and there's the 500 gold. That's about what you get for a kill in the first place. You count the assists, so a sort of fairly equal trade to last time they fought for this objective. Just sort of different types of things being gained as top lane outer goes down, and Echofox tie the turret score. CLG tying the Drake score, and the gold still only 1,600 apart. Looking at CLG, though, still feel like the ones that are winning the map overall. Right now, though, it's Echofox who control river vision. Darshan does have TP back now and gets some time at the bot lane outer turret, getting some good damage there. And Solo will be a little bit late to the play.
Yeah, I think while they have TP up for Darshan, CLG have the cards to actually decide the pace of the game here. Mid lane again, though. Here we go.
Of course, you can't teleport while the Nocturne ult is on, but they will not find Sejuani's. Yeah. Pretty easy escape for Wiggly, and that is Nocturne ult down for basically nothing.
Another card used here by Echofox. So CLG playing the control style here, setting up the side wave. Now that there's no Nocturne ultimate, they can push much harder, try and get the bottom turret gold first.
Now we've hit 3 items for Apollo. We're getting there right now on 6A's Ezreal. That Seraph's Embrace is close, but that Archangel's only at 229 of 750. It stacks fast, but he's got a ways to go. So for now, I actually would take Kai'Sa in a team fight. With Baron alive and Drake not, I feel like you're getting pretty close to the spot where you do take a battle here if Echofox can pull the trigger. But without Nocturne, it gets a little bit harder. Still waiting for those big climactic battles to happen. CLG with the bot outer going down stretches the lead to 2,000.
They've got full control here.
Yeah.
Control wards around the Baron now, though. That is perfect bait territory. They've got Syndra and Sejuani, two champions extremely good at punishing face checks for any sort of vision. Now CLG just have to hold on to the leverage that they've gained around Baron and allow Darshan to get that pressure on bottom side and make it work. You have to be very quick with your teleport, though. As soon as night starts to fall, immediately you have to have your camera there and clicking on a ward, or else you're not going to arrive.
Temp mid lane cleared yet again, so CLG have 25 seconds to do whatever they want with this top river. One of that's going to be knocking down a control ward. Still 15 to go, and what are they going to look for? Another controller comes down for Hakuho, which means that aggressive vision can't happen for CLG just yet. Wiggly checks the brush, but he's got to respect Hook. And they will not take that ward down. 6A, though, still feels safe and plays up for the wards again. Solo a little bit nearby, but there's still no dive to be had. Nocturne ult is back, still not pulling the trigger, though. They know Tahm Kench is probably nearby. They don't know for sure. He's actually in base. But do you risk that? Now Darshan sitting out in Fog of War, looking at maybe a possible flank. Solo's still waiting around, though.
This is it. Tahm Kench is here as well.
All right, they might spot Solo. He knows he can jump the wall. Still gets found out there. Look at the dive forward. Gonna be a hook in the front line, and Darshan is there. The counter dive coming through for Rush. Just trying to wait out this Aatrox ult, but he's landed right back away. He's gonna stay alive. A couple ults burn on both sides. No casualties yet again.
Yeah, free defensive flash too, so Sejuani gets hooked back in.
But again, saved.
All right, this is time for the Baron pressure then. They already have the control wards in place. Nocturne ultimate's down, Aatrox ultimate is down. That's so much of the team fighting. Aatrox without his ultimate cannot be the front line. You lose so much of your zoning potential. I feel like CLG should be pressing on that Baron bait a little bit harder.
I guess they're playing for the wards instead. They're saying we want to make sure we take every one of these brushes. We take mid prio, we take top prio as well, and they've got, I mean, over the last few minutes, those wards have gotten deeper down. It's certainly not flashy. There's certainly no kills coming through, but they are removing the Echo Fox vision. Their sort of playbook is, let's keep pushing them off, and they're getting the vision farther and farther into their favor, where there's more brushes that Fox have to face check.
I would say that they already had such a good hold on the vision, and with Urgai as your tank on Baron, you aren't really losing any life. That it could be, but it's definitely more risky to go for that play, and they got some health on the turrets.
All right, well, they got a little bit of chip down. They've still held this ward line. This one's sitting up.
And they got the wolf!
All right, they're getting everything. They're grabbing all the farm. Mid lane down to half HP as well. CLG really biding their time by knocking that vision down as well. And Echo Fox, I gotta say, they have a ward in one part of one of the jungles. It is not good. It is a lot of darkness here for Echo Fox. They've got to rely on their sense of smell to figure out where the champions are in this map.
Yeah, and Stixay continues to land these mystic shots under the turrets. Eventually, CLG do get that whole turret in the secondary turret for top lane, so they do get the gold out of it. Dragon's up now, though, so there is a counter for Echo Fox available. It's another Mountain Drake, number 3 available. Can they burn it down before CLG reset? It looks like it will be the case. Teleport's being used, though.
It's being rushed so fast. Echo Fox is going to get this one, no problem. They were there and ready to go. CLG chose to stay and grab the turret. They reset late, and now a fight in the mid lane. They're going to pull back Darshan. He could be killed. Down to 1,000. Redemption lands the kill. Oh, it's Biofrost. He's flashless. A stopwatch buys a few seconds, but this could be him going lights out as well. 2-0 Fox right to Baron.
And just like that, Echo Fox now take complete control of the map, and they still have Nocturne ultimate. Rush can make the difference.
3 versus 5. CLG have to stop this somehow. Baron not yet hit. The ward's
going around.
Cleared.
He wants to flank.
Stixay grabs red.
Does he? Did he steal it? Okay. Solo doesn't want to reveal himself just for the red steal. He'd rather savor this position and get behind the enemies. He's going for it. Power of Evil is the target.
3,000. Here comes the near side. He's going to flash blindly. Picked up by Wiggly. He's killed off, though, and the cavalry has arrived. Apollo and Solo both diving in for the kills in the backline. CLG have to lose all 3. Stixay's running away. He gets a trade. He's burning down, and finally a kill picked up. 3 for 1, but Baron is grabbed, and Darshan TP's in for a flank play. Is there anything to find, though? That answer is no.
He could go steal blue maybe while they're taking mid turret, but He's not going to be able to cut them off. Echo Fox, they lose the smite battle. I think I saw 30-something HP on it. Let's take another look.
Both smited, then the auto did, I think.
Yeah, okay, let's go for the beginning. This was the pick. All right, chains landed on Darshan, and that was his death. Then Biofrost flashes at the very end there. He also gives over an extra kill after Darshan was already dead. Now, slow-mo this sucker down because Rush turns off the lights. They have the hook on a Sejuani. They have split burst. Oh, the Syndra tried to do it too. Rush even flashed.
I think went for Q flash to hit it sooner, maybe.
Oh man, and I think I saw a smite come afterwards.
Maybe so.
There's no way that was a second charge, right?
A 15-second cooldown, it couldn't have been.
I think yeah. So I think that Wiggly able to definitely set Rush off there. A little bit of a panic.
Yep.
And summoner spells all get used up quickly. In the end, it is CLG. Let's see, does anyone,
No,
did
they
anyone
have none.
live?
They have none.
Okay.
We can actually kill the Baron power play, grab it, because there is no Baron buff on the map. CLG, the 3 who are alive, all got killed in the aftermath. I mean, it's cool to watch the gold tick, don't get me wrong. I actually, I'm kind of fine with that, but there is no buff in play. It's completely removed. The gold, honestly, close to equal. It kind of reset itself, so we've got this sort of neutral state yet again. CLG up about 2,000. Shout out graphics team for getting rid of power play. I love you.
Freak making demands on air live.
Everyone knows I am insolent. I am so hard to deal with.
All right, here we go. CLG now. I mean, we're basically back in the state that we were 12 minutes ago when CLG had the pushing advantage. They went for the turret instead. It's just that now Baron is not an option. CLG still have this gold lead. It's not a huge gold lead. So Echo Fox, as we saw before when they got the pick, still have plenty of options, but it really is going to be, oh, there we go.
Oh, they found the flay. They're going to go for the stone plate. Sejuani, she's so durable, but not enough. Finally falls, Rush gets the kill. Now in the side lane, Solo could find PoE, there's no flash, which means there's no easy way out. Burns the ult, and it's gonna mean absolutely nothing. Stopwatch buys a few seconds, Biofrost is around, grabs him back up, and Solo, just so tanky, doesn't seem to care. Jumps forward, might find Biofrost. Remember, he's flashless. They can maybe find this kill, but he's tanky enough, he walks away.
Yeah, big chunks here down to Power Vivo and Biofrost. I mean, some turret damage for Echo Fox. They find another pick this time around. Finish off the kill, get an objective on the back.
Big chunk goes through, and they're getting this game closer and closer. Echo Fox feeling a little bit better about their mid game now. Found a couple of nice plays here, and Wiggly getting caught out by the Thresh hook. That was so big.
Whew. All right, 46 seconds on the Dragon coming in. Let's see if they set up for it. Echo Fox currently have super deep vision wards throughout the blue jungle, but they're going for a reset. They want to purchase items. Let's see what's completed in inventory here. That little bit of power is going to mean quite a lot for this next fight. Everyone still has, by the way, all of these same tools for split pushing to get the sidewaves going before they set this up.
Well, as we heard from High last week, you usually want 1 minute before the objective spawns to start your reset. This is going to be a little bit late for Fox, and they will find that the entire river's been awarded by the time they're even in position to fight for it. So CLG playing from a vision advantage, and for a few seconds, no Nocturne ult available as well. They don't see that Syndra's there.
Both carries here in the mid lane showing.
And they know she's around now, and they know that CLG want to play for this one.
The control ward does go down, but still, that one's a little bit deep. They're going for it.
Stun only a slow, though, and again, they find Wiggly. They're going to pull him almost back in, but not quite. It's Solo who's low, has to pop his ultimate. That's ult for ult. I would probably rather have Sejuani's up than Aatrox, but it's close. They're both really big for team fighting. And CLG, though, still own this river, but they've got Scuttle Crab that Fox had grabbed.
Man,
that makes them feel safe. Stick safe forward, finds a Q and a rush.
Offensive arcane shift here. Very, very offensive.
Okay. Echo Fox's front line is very, very
Teleport?
weak.
Is Solo gonna go for it?
He's gonna have to try. He's flashless, but he's gotta burn that TP sometime soon, or will it be a smite play for Rush? Pops the ult, where's the dive? It's Rush, it's Solo, along the back line. A quick eat there for Tom Kench. Drake still hitting CLG, they're getting a bit lower. Here comes Solo in for the back line. Tries to find Sticks, they won't find it yet. Hotbo gets in a Wiggly, but he's very, very tanky. This time, they will burn down the Aatrox, but there's still a smite. Rush could still try to get in. It's him versus Wiggly, and Wiggly won last time. 4,000 health from the Dragon. Hakwo hooks in. A control word of the pit lets them know what the health bar is, and it resets one more time. 3,000, pulling it back yet again. Lane is up. He's got a GA as well, picked up by CLG. Lantern right back out. What a pickup. 2 objectives in a row. Go to Counter Logic Gaming.
Really good call there from CLG to pull the Dragon back. They also got the flash out of Rush because they moved the Dragon there. He tries to flash into range to get the smite down, but CLG too good. They secure that Elder Dragon, and now it's time for Baron number 2 to come onto the field, and this one really gives you that push.
And it's such a good timing. Solo is still dead and no TP. CLG have about 20 seconds to force it in a guaranteed 5v4. Wiggly's smite's still up. Darshan's got a fresh blue buff. This is the moment you pull the trigger. They're TPing the squad back in as well, and Counter Logic Gaming are on the hunt. And look at that vision. Echo Fox have no idea where they are. Well, they do, but they can't stop them. CLG uncontested grab their second straight Baron.
All right, that's going to be a reset and a quick push out. Let's see if we get inside to inhibitor turrets now. Echo Fox, what they could do is try and set up in one of these areas. They know that CLG haven't been on this bottom side in a long time, and you go for a bush gank. You go for a setup where you catch someone by surprise, you jump on them with your Nocturne, your Thresh, try and take someone down early before the fight can even start. Doesn't look like they're actually going for it though. Full reset, they're just gonna take the damage under their turrets, and I don't think they can really take it. You know, CLG are going to get turrets here with this Baron buff. Elder Dragon is also ticking.
Yep, 2 minutes of worldwide double buffs, and a minute and a half after that one of just the Baron. That's gonna be enough even on its own right. They are sitting a split pusher, and Darshan has TP, and Echo Fox have no answer outside of Apollo, and I don't think you want him outside the team fight, so hands are tied for Echo Fox. CLG pushing in mid, and sitting in this bottom jungle, seeing we can go to bot lane, we can go back to mid lane, we can pick whichever one makes more sense for us. And no one's contesting the Urgot, no one contested mid lane as well. 2 turrets sure to fall here, as CLG can look for the next play forward. Rush getting tagged, the hook was close to finding something, and one member gets tagged, Phoenix self-shielding. Bot lane tier 2 falls as well, in mid lane down to about 1/3. CLG so far not getting stopped in this push. 15 seconds of Elder Dragon, that should be enough to knock this turret down. The chunk comes in, open inhibitor. That's the power of late game Ezreal. Hits objectives pretty nicely. As bot lane falls, there's a lone time in mid, and the inhibitor will drop as well right as the Elder Dragon buff times out, and still a minute 50 seconds on Baron. Now CLG have to consider where they want to spend the gold they've earned or use this buff to keep pushing, but the actual item difference is not quite what the scoreboard shows you in gold because of how much is in their pockets right now.
Man, it really is disgusting how much damage Ezreal does to turrets now with all the AP hybrid builds coming through. He's got the Gunblade for crazy sustain too. All right, let's see how this siege works out. The cannon minion's still alive. They're protecting it, keeping it Baron buffed here.
Stun cleansed away though, 5v5, but no Sejuani ult is a pretty big deal for the fight. No one else really going to force that cleanse out. Maybe a Syndra, but that seems unlikely. The chunk's still coming in. They're keeping that cannon, and he's just barely alive. They're trying. He finally goes down. Good kill by Phoenix.
All right, the replacement is here.
And that's going to be enough for the wave. Chunk goes the turret. Inhib will be seated. If you don't fight for the turret, don't fight for the one that can't defend itself. But now they're going to try anyway. Solo coming around the backside. And a quick save. They're not going to knock down PoE just yet. Solo's still on the front line. Very, very tanky, but so is Darshan. It's still 5-on-5, but they might just catch up on Rush. The GA will be popped. The shockwave buys a few seconds, and there will be maybe a re-engage. Look for the hook, but not finding it. Rush going to fall 5v4, and CLG have 30 seconds of Baron. They're going to send Darshan back to base and have him TP back in. They're going to end the game right here. 5v4, 30 seconds on the buff. They're not going to spend that money.
Yeah, they could just stay on this bottom wave until they fix the Nexus turret right here.
Waiting for that big chunk. Stixxay autos it once, down goes half the health, and it's going to be dropping pretty quickly. In goes Solo yet again, but there's no revive for him. Phoenix flashing away, staying alive. Look at the turret at half HP here as well. Solo's still low, but Wiggly as well. One kill for Echo Fox. Nexus open, but they're fighting back and forth. They might just kill CLG, but the Nexus, it's falling faster. Counter Logic Gaming will join the tie for second and beat Echo Fox. Hard-fought game. Darshan didn't even play every game this season. They wanted to know if Fallen Bandit would be a better starter. But he has won 3 in a row here. This time off the Scion. The Urgot was really, really big. Most of the early kills were on him. I think he did so much heavy lifting throughout the mid game. And it got to late game, it got to the Ezreal. Stixxay chunked down these structures. CLG got a Baron steal from Wiggly as well. That was massive. That could have been the absolute turning point.
That was so big. The blind rushing in during Nocturne Ultimate. Sejuani charges through, gets the Baron. 30-something health showing on that sucker. And CLG have strung together 3 wins for themselves now, with quite a few long ones. Late game, relying on very beefy front line, fighting front to back. Proper disengage is there. They had the defensive opening, and they're able to get another LCS win.
Now CLG have found a style of slow, controlled macro. Now for more on that CLG win, obviously standing by with the victorious River King, Biofrost.
Thanks, guys. Biofrost, congratulations on the win for you and CLG. You guys are now on a 3-game win streak. How's morale for the team now?
It's pretty good. I think in our first week we went 0-2, but we weren't like shaken up by it. We were like testing out a lot of things. Actually, our scrim results have been really bad, but luckily we've been winning on stage, so it's all good.
Scrim results are nothing. You just want the stage results. But recently for you, you stepped up kind of as like a team captain role. What does that really entail?
It's just like, it's kind of like shot caller, I guess, but I think everyone on the team has been like trying really hard. I think our coaching staff is the main reason why we're doing so well. Irene and Weldon have been like doing so much for our like atmosphere, for our practice, and it's really helped us in terms of like just executing on stage, I think.
What do you think you've contributed from your role as team captain?
I kind of just give a general direction of the game and kind of coordinate our plays. I think that whenever people like have like an idea of what they want to do, I try to facilitate that. And if it goes well, then we end up having like a 5-man team play. So that's kind of what we needed, because if you don't have like an organized set play, it's not very good.
Well, Biofrost, thank you, and best of luck to you for the rest of the weekend. That's it for us here. Back to the State Farm Analyst Desk.
Thank you. Valee, things are looking good for CLG all of a sudden, and Mark's stock portfolio.
Scrooge
but
McDuck over here. Don't care about the fans, don't care about the game.
Don't care about CLG either, except when they win me money.
We have to remember that at the end of week 2, or week 1 rather, this was the team that everyone was like, oh man, it's looking disastrous. Granted, after 2 games, just based on the fact that they were swapping and didn't seem to have any direction themselves about how they wanted to play the game or even who they wanted to play the game. Well, they've landed on a roster that has now put together 3 wins back to back to back, and they're looking solid.
Yeah, and one of the big questions that I had coming out of last week is, okay, they got a couple wins, they looked a lot better on stage, but it did feel very Sion reliant. You know, in their early games in the first week, they played carries both times. They brought out Kennen, that was Fallen Bandit, and then Darshan played an Akali. They seem to have settled on not just needing one champion, but now having a more of a defined style, right? They're looking for solid frontline. They're looking for team fight, 5v5 style comps that are successful in the late game. Lots of protection for 6A. We've seen Tahm Kench Ezreal a couple times. Urgot was a good kind of shoe in there for the Sion, which was banned out. So now I'm starting to get a lot more confidence in this team because it is not just reliance on one champion. It is a style that they've developed and looking quite successful with.
Yeah, and on the Echo Fox side, I still like the comp that they drafted, even though it is into a Tahm Kench and he can save someone. The fact that they had basically 3 divers with Kai'Sa, Nocturne, and Aatrox, that assuming you're even or ahead, you can still hopefully have enough dive to redirect onto Tahm Kench or whoever gets saved. The problem was they didn't get even or ahead. They ended up falling behind kind of early on into the game. That kind of messed up their team fights.
Yeah, and this ties into exactly what you talked about top of the day when previewing this matchup, was the importance of the mid-jungle synergy or duos for each of these squads. And you were saying that you felt you had a little bit more confidence in the performance of Wiggly and Power of Evil up against that of Rush and Phoenix. There was a lot of attention and skirmishes that developed around this mid lane.
Right, and both teams collapsed a lot, but every time I felt like CLG was playing it just a little bit better. Excellent ward there by Biofrost to steal that one away. And then here, even though they will eventually pick up the kill onto Power of Evil, they have to spend so much time and resources doing it that the rest of CLG is able to collapse and kind of turn it back in their favor yet again.
Yeah, and Wiggly, I think, played out that fight incredibly well. I think overall had a very consistent game, maybe a little bit to criticize with getting picked off once or twice, but stealing the Baron, playing very well around mid lane, and I think that is another very encouraging thing for CLG because people know how good PoE can look and how good he looked last year on Optic, even when people didn't feel like he necessarily always had the supporting cast. So if they were actually working together and being successful as a mid lane and jungle 2v2, that's fantastic for him.
Yeah, the part that you glossed over there is the problem for CLG still right now is like the fact that they needed that Baron steal.
Yeah.
Multiple people got picked off, Darshan, and then into Biofrost getting picked led to that situation where, like, once again, an objective is stolen from Rush, and that's the real reason they won the game. Not to say that they couldn't have won it after the Baron section had played out, but the fact that they were able to steal it made it that much easier.
And it kind of looked like nerves affecting Rush there,
Yeah.
because from what we saw, he flashed basically forward instead of using a smite. He didn't even smite when Wiggly actually took it, and Wiggly didn't even have a clean, W smite kill.
No.
He smote it to about 100 health and then went to 30 health, and Rush used his flash during that window. So had he actually hit his smite instead of his flash, that is their Baron, and it has felt like Rush has had a few flubs in that regard in securing the objectives. Some of that is a bit of luck. Some of it, there's some things going wrong, but it does feel like maybe that's some nerves there too.
That one will haunt him when it comes to just a misplay, maybe being the reason why that game slips out of their grasp in their moment for taking it away from CLG. In that interview with Biofrost, he gave a lot of credit to the coaching staff as being the main reason why mentally they weren't defeated at the end of week 1 with that 0-2, and that they've got a good mindset around developing their strategies, as we've mentioned, and finding what it is, the direction that they want to push their team in, and what champions will help them do that.
I mean, they gave themselves enough excuses, like, oh, our strategic coach wasn't here for week 1, and oh, we were trying new players out, and we were kind of doing weird stuff in draft with Xerath. We weren't taking it serious. I think mentally it's pretty easy to rebound when you have that many outs, so to speak.
Yeah, and Freak already gave him a little bit of crap earlier. We saw from
With the VODs.
CLG's documentary. Their strategic coach came in and said he hadn't even watched any games of either of their top laners in Academy or LCS.
Azale, it's clearly working.
Well, it's working now. He's seen some games. He's figured it out.
I'm with you 100%. All right, well, next up, we've got Optic Gaming premiering their intended starting roster versus a struggling Golden Guardians. See who comes out on top after the break.